Hello everybody, and just here, and I'm back with more Arifureta OVA 2 of the second season. OVA 2, well, it's the second part of the OVA. Essentially, it's not like there are two distinct episodes of 24 minutes. It's just 40-minute OVA for some reason split into two sections. Why? I don't know. I'm not sure. They did it, and here we are. In the first part, we spent some time with Myuu and Remya, Myuu's mother. We learned that Myuu's mother pretends to be all lovey-dovey with Hajime, calls him darling and whatnot, as a performance of sorts in front of Myuu to give her the feeling that they are a family, right? That they are all together and very much in love and yada yada yada. She doesn't necessarily believe all that. She probably likes Hajime, but doesn't necessarily want to be all lovey-dovey. Does it all for the sake of Myuu. We also met a flying whale that transported us somewhere to some ruined city alongside a ship with pirates, one of whom is the leader of those pirates is Mulezin, something like that. The lady who's responsible for the labyrinth of Mulezin, the last labyrinth that Hajime conquered. And it seems like we're gonna be meeting all the other Mavericks because of the spoilers in the opening. And even more spoilers in the ending that I mostly blocked out, thankfully. What else? What else? Myuu met Mulezin. Hajime is now with Remya. What happened to the other people? I don't know yet. I think that about does it for the summary. I don't know, I don't need to summarize anything for myself because I just finished watching the first part. But yeah, depends on when this one will be released, either straight after the first part or perhaps next week. You might need a refresher, you might not. So that was a little bit of said refresher. What's gonna happen in today's episode, in this part, I don't know. We might meet the rest of the crew, probably the crew of pirates and Hajime's crew. We're gonna go back together. There's some bit about bringing two people from two different times. I'm assuming that refers to the Mavericks, who are somehow alive and kicking, and bringing Hajime's crew. Are there some timey-wimey shenanigans going on, or what the fuck is going on here? Is Dole a dream? Could be they were pulling an all-nighter to witness the Shining Sea, or whatever it was called, so maybe Hajime fell asleep and that's the dream he's been having. I don't know, we only have like 20 minutes to see that. Oh, 26! Actually, this episode seems to be longer than the previous one. The previous part was 20 minutes, this one is 26. Why the discrepancy? Okay, I guess we're gonna watch 26 minutes of the second part of the OVA. So let's not waste any time and subs, sound, and let's get to watching the second part of the Arifureta second season OVA in 3, 2, 1, go. Right, subs, sound, support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or Throne and get early access to Arifureta, to Madoka Magica, to Symphogear and other non-seasonals on Throne if you want, or if you don't want to spend any money, you can still support the channel by sharing my content, spreading the word. It really helps the growth a lot. Okay. Are we gonna see spoilers in the opening again? This is the original opening. Chains, none. Fire and Wait, is this the original opening this time? No, this is shots from this OVA. They didn't even bother like creating a special animation for it. They just threw scenes from the OVA into here. I guess it's forgivable, but honestly, I'd rather they just used the proper full opening instead of throwing random scenes here. Melusine. Okay, she doesn't know either. Timey-wimey shenanigans, I'm betting. Hajime get pulled in from this timeline. Melusine and her crew got pulled in here from another timeline. And that's Hajime. Literally. Yeah, very marketable, isn't she? And she's a siscon. She doesn't sound like Homura. And yet they share the voice actress. Whomst? Another Maverick? Yeah. And another Maverick. The original one. Uh, the first one, Oscar. And I'm assuming another Maverick. Yeah, Milady, Oscar, Melusine. At least she's clear of the goo now. Is everybody a lolicon in this team? Okay, that works. Oscar Orcus, of the Orcus Labyrinth. Hmm. Milady Erisen, indeed. Ah. Is that something that Hajime said at some point? Yeah. That's gotta be hit to the ego. Right. They were flushed out of the labyrinth. Okay, so I'm assuming they are at the point where they haven't built the labyrinths yet. That's a question. How are you alive? That was Hajime. Or maybe it was monsters. Whale? Whale. It grew? Two creators. Who two creators? Hajime and one of the Mavericks, I'm assuming, probably. To the whale. Yeah, get me to Papa. And more Grim Reapers and frogs, and I'm assuming dogs as well. God's Age magic, indeed. And those are the scenes from the opening. At least one of them. Oh, hello there. The whole gang is together again? Or are they all fighting individually? No, they're together. Sounds like a plan. Not like those monsters are particularly strong. Yeah, can't risk blowing up a teleporter or something. Big monster? A boss? A boss. Or a wave of bosses. No, just a wave of regular goons. Yeah, just more fodder. Or are they bigger? Hard to tell. They have the exact same design, so I can't tell if they're the exact same grunts or bosses. Okay, so they are bigger. Just took the models and scaled them up. Be careful, Hajime, or she's gonna start calling you Anata for real. She probably will, sooner or later, let's face it. Those are some ability names, alright? Hello, Myuu. That's my new familiar. Yeah, very much so. I mean, not her fault. Don't you have more bullets? Oh, Orcus. Yes, Milady is here as well. Doing a superhero landing. No hesitation. No hesitation at all. Nothing yet. And she's crucified again. Yeah, they're from a different timeline. Or different time. Yeah, don't push your luck, maybe. Another wave? Or is the city falling apart? Or both? That's also a possibility. Why the two of them? Yeah. And she now has the power of a whale within her. Or something. Oh, that's the city before it was sunk? Sunken? Sinked? So, yeah, Atlantis, essentially. Highly technological. Okay, those are the frogs they're fighting, I'm assuming. Arifureta, haha. Well, that's not good. Crossing through space is one thing, crossing through time and space, now, that's a problem. So, two are needed. Yeah. Because both of them can use creation magic, that's what it meant by creator. Gotcha. Not creator as in the creator of the whale, but people with creation magic. Don't you have to like focus on the barrier? Of course. A lot of parallels between them. Oscar and Milady, Hajime and Yue. Okay. Should maybe cast that barrier thing? Okay. Did the ears not give it away? Another shot from the opening? Yeah. They can learn a lot from each other. Yep. Okay. Right, she did get the magic from the Raisin Labyrinth. So you fix one side and let Oscar fix the other? Yeah. And they can learn and grow. Yeah, understanding. Just gonna copy it with his eye. How good of those monsters to not be attacking, right? Now both the sparkles around them are white. And just like that, crisis averted. Kaori and Melusine are counterparts of each other, and Shia and oh no, those two are counterparts apparently. Then Shia and who? I guess Shia is just Shia. That's fine, that's valid. The Tower of Babel is upright again. Okay, no big deal. I guess the whale is just gonna have to call them for some repairs every 1,000 years or so. So they're splitting up. Right, the whole thing about Mavericks was that they were trying to get out of like God's control, going against determinism essentially, and shedding the influence of the deities of their world. So the question of living freely is actually significant. Hell of a coincidence, isn't it? Okay, so they have no recollection of what happened. Interesting. I mean, he's not wrong. The ocean is shining. We witnessed at least one of the wonders of this area. Flying fish. And the glowing whale. Okay, everybody gained some new skills out of the encounter with the Mavericks. A gift from the whale? Or, yeah, thanks to learning from the Mavericks. And that's it, I'm assuming. It is. Okay. Hmm. I'm assuming the both of them were supposed to be treated as one thing. So this ending was supposed to be shown only at the very end, like reminders of scenes from the show, from the OVA. But because it was split in two parts, then the first part also got the same ending, and nobody could be bothered to just fucking remove the video and play credits on black screen, apparently. Hmm. It really bothers me how much complete and utter disregard so many studios and producers of anime have for spoilers. It's baffling, honestly. Completely and absolutely baffling to me. You might have heard about that one movie. Maybe I talked about it earlier. I talked about it in some videos. Maybe you've seen them, maybe not. But there's a movie coming out, or it has come out already. I don't know. With a dude that gets turned into a chair, and a cat that steals some magic and some closing the doors or whatever. And I watched the trailer of it, and after having seen the trailer, I already know what's gonna be there in the movie. I don't need to watch the movie because I saw the trailer, and it's like, why, why, why spoilers? Like I can understand some vague spoilers, like sometimes an anime will show some bits and pieces in the opening that you can recognize only in retrospect, right? There are some spoilers from episode 11, and only after you've seen episode 11 you're like, oh yeah, this moment in the opening references that, right? That's fine. Pseudo spoilers where there are some moments from later episodes, but they are ripped out of context and portrayed in a way that makes you think it's something else than what actually is going to happen. Misdirection in the opening. That's great. That's cool. I'm fine with that. But just straight up scenes pulled from the finale of the series, like it sometimes happens. Why? I'd rather the series not have an opening than have an opening like that. The same goes for trailers. I mean, with trailers, at least you can't fully avoid spoiling things because you have to use bits and pieces of the series, of the season, to show off the characters, the animation, the stories. But for openings and endings, honestly unforgivable. Okay, she apparently has a sister, or had a sister. And is a siscon, because of course she is. Fighting, fighting, fighting. Also, I really do enjoy their whatchamacallit? Fuck. Chemistry of all the characters in their team, in Melzin's team. I kind of wish we got maybe a spin-off of their adventures, or maybe if there was a chance of bringing them back somehow. That would feel like an ass pull. Don't get me wrong, it's probably not the best idea because like the very core of the series of Arifureta is that all those mavericks were trying to go against the gods, against the will of the deities, and forge their own free path, forge the path for humanity, the path of freedom. And they had to create all those labyrinths for that, to seal that magic, to escape, and to perish in those labyrinths, and hope that someone is going to be able to restore that magic and stand against God. That's the very core. So bringing them back would cheapen their sacrifice. It would cheapen all the like going through the labyrinths, because Hajime and their team went through all the labyrinths and got all the god age magic, and now Mavericks are here and they can just teach them magic. So why did they go through the labyrinths in the end, right? Wouldn't feel great. But I do enjoy their characters, and I wish we were able to spend more time with them, for sure. Milady, most of all. She's annoying, but the good kind of annoying. The kind of annoying where she was made to be annoying and isn't annoying because of just bad or misguided writing, like it sometimes happens. You can really tell when a character is annoying because they're supposed to be annoying, and when a character is annoying despite the intention clearly being for that character to be endearing in some form. Myuu is lost. I like Oscar the most, probably. He tries to find out things, figure out what's going on here. Also, Myuu remembers an awful lot about them. Most annoying person in the world? Can't deny that her labyrinth was particularly annoying, for sure. Papa said it. There can't be anyone more annoying than Milady Erisen, now and forever. I'll never forgive being flushed down the toilet. Yeah. And Hajime, of course, had some choice words about everybody else. Oscar, the maid lover. Absolute sadist with no attention to detail. Meiru Melzin. Yeah, and the only decent dude. Such a decent person compared to the other three. Knights Gruen. How are you alive? And yeah, Cloud Whale. And we're going to see Papa, but first we need to destroy the enemies on our path, of course. Are those designs just genuinely the exact same? I need to take a look at the smaller versions of those monsters. Yeah. Yeah, designs of those bosses are just the exact fucking same. I don't know how it was in the source material. I doubt that the description of this boss wave was they were exactly as the enemies we fought before, except bigger. I think there was more to that. Assuming, of course, this story comes from the light novel and isn't anime original, which I can't be sure of. The way it's so very self contained makes me think it's either an incredibly shortened volume of the light novel, or maybe some side story, maybe some like bonus thin book, thin novel added to, I don't know, the first, oh fuck, added to like the first few volumes of the manga or whatever. And I just noticed I haven't been I have been going through it, but haven't been showing the screen. But yeah, not that much happened. Mielzin is a Siscan. I talked about whatchamacall her. The chemistry this character's had for a long time. I talked about it and I didn't notice that I haven't switched the view. Motherfucker. Uh, yeah, I really wish we could spend more time with the Mavericks. And I talked about Milady being annoying on purpose and not being made to be endearing, but turned out to be annoying. And yeah, Hajime had some choice words about everybody, except Nice Gruen. Nice Gruen is a nice person compared to everybody else. Monsters, monsters, monsters. Bosses who are just a bigger version of the monsters. Not a huge fan of that solution of making them just bigger monsters. And again, as I said, doubt that was done the same way in the source material, assuming this follows the source material, of course. Yeah, the big bosses. And Myuu arrived safely, and with Myuu, all the Mavericks. And he just uses an umbrella because why not? When you're a synergist who can in theory, make whatever they want, why not make an umbrella that also doubles as a gun, right? Hajime just makes proper guns. He makes an umbrella. Melusine, Knight's Gruen, and here comes Milady, and zero hesitation, shooting her straight up. And everybody is able to break out of the Maverick's traps using spatial magic. Yep. Myuu saves the day, of course. Lots of monsters and creators. 2 creators from different timelines. Oscar Orcus and Hajime. Are there no other people with the same class of a synergist? Makes me wonder. Probably not. Yeah, I mean, Hajime was treated badly because he was a synergist and that was deemed a useless class, so it wouldn't surprise me. And yeah, it was an Atlantis, advanced technology, people were happy, but they decided they wanted to fly too close to the sun, like Icarus, and they fell. Quite the ordinary tale indeed. They sought further power, lost control, and perished. Classic, honestly. The power was sealed away by the whale, and we can't allow the seal to be broken. It would be easy for them to cross through time and space. Crossing through space, not that big of a deal. Crossing through time, very big of a deal. Because technically they could cross the time and cause a paradox where Hajime never arrives, for example. And that would be an issue. Repair the seal after the damage took place. Can't be repaired with single caster, that's why he needs 2 creators. Indeed. How did the seal get damaged? Was it over time? Was it an onslaught of enemies? Or what was going on? I don't know. And yeah, everybody has a counterpart. Yue and what's her face? Damn, I forgot. Yue and Milady. Yue and Milady, Oscar and Hajime. Yeah, like, the parallels can't be clearer than that. Knights can teleport them on top because he mastered spatial magic. Didn't just learn it, he had it the whole time, so of course he will have much bigger mastery of that. Barrier, fighting. Is she really a rabid beastman? Again, did the ears not give it away? And they can learn from each other, and that's exactly what happens. Yeah, Yue learns from Milady immediately. Heir to Milady Reisen's magic. Correct, she got it from the labyrinth. And another pair of counterparts, 2 synergists, and again, they learn from each other. Gonna steal your technique. Is it something his eye can do? I'm not sure. If it is, then I can't remember one of the powers of his eye to be stealing the abilities of others. If it is, then I forgot, apparently. Analysis complete. And Hajime already surpassed the master. Tower is being repaired. Tio and this dude are kinda sorta counterparts. Not really, but maybe. Tio doesn't have any. And the monsters perish. Power is sealed away, and everybody goes back to their timeline. This is a very significant question. Are you living life under your own will? Because that's what the Mavericks were fighting for. so that everybody can live a life under their own will. And she is. And that's all that Milady could have ever wanted. She succeeded. She understood when US said that she's the heir to her magic. She understood that she's gonna die and she's gonna leave her magic. But the fact that it allowed people to live freely, at least a group of people to a limited degree, that made it all worth it. I like it. See you in the future. Hopefully. Genuinely, hopefully. I would very much like to see more of the Mavericks. And of course we're going for, oh, was it just a dream? But everybody had the same dream. Although everybody forgot about what even happened. Fish are flying, whale is flying, and everybody's magic power and skills were bumped up a little. I want to stay with Papa and everyone forever. And a little bit of dialogue from the Mavericks. Cool. Cool. Okay. So, that was the OVA for Arifureta. I'm gonna take a quick look at AniList. Haha. On one hand, cool, and I'm glad it exists. On the other, very like self-contained and very kind of ripped out of the main storyline, I guess you could say. Also, fairly little has happened ultimately. Great majority of this OVA as a whole was just fighting, and that was hardly the highlight of it. Mostly due to the fact that they were fighting just copy-pasted 3 different CG models, just copy-pasted. Not even like thematically concise, honestly. There was the Grim Reaper, there was the Cerberus, and there was the Frog. What theme is there? I don't know. There isn't any. If they were just frogs or some other biological-ish monsters, like, I don't know, giant snails or giant mosquitoes or whatever, you could say and you could show that it was the inhabitants of the city who were working on bioengineering and their experiments failed, and that's why the city is overrun with mutated animals. But the Grim Reapers? Did they create Grim Reapers as well? I don't know. What's with the gates? Who was opening them and summoning those monsters? Can they open those themselves? Why is there a bunch of bigger, scaled up monsters that look the exact same? What's the deal with that? So ultimately, honestly, the great majority of those OVAs were kind of forgettable and didn't have to be here. But what I did enjoy, and what was, to me at least, the highlight of this OVA were definitely the Mavericks. We didn't have much time spent with them during the course of the series. Probably they were more moments of that, of like going back to previous timelines or whatever in the light novel. Maybe, again, I don't know. I can't know. But I'm glad that we got some moments with them, some additional characterization to show that they weren't just those mythical heroes, but had their own interactions and their own quirks, right? That was cool, because the only the only Maverick that we had any sort of interactions with was I forgot her name again. Not Mier. Fuck. How did I forget her name again? Um, the annoying uh, the annoying one. Wait. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the name. Erisen. Milady. Milady. Yeah. Milady. We only got some interactions with Milady, and even her, it was in the form of that, like, hooded gnome thing, so not fully interactions with her. So I'm glad we got that, for sure. And there wasn't really much more to this OVA, was there? Was there? Well, we got a little bit of a character development for Renya, and we got a bit more of an understanding of why she immediately jumped to calling Hajime Anata and trying to cozy up to him and flirting and whatnot when she was a person completely unknown to him. It's not just because Arifureta is a harem anime. No, it's also because she saw that Myuu treats Hajime as a father, so she herself also wanted to treat Hajime as Myuu's father. For Myuu. Great. Genuinely like it. I genuinely did love it. Um, yeah, that's it, I think. I wanted to talk more about it, but there isn't much more to be talked about. Let me, like, go through this episode again real quick. Now we got Mavericks, characterization for Mavericks, their interactions, some funny haha moments, some character growth, mostly in terms of power, not necessarily even in terms of character. Everybody got essentially bumped up by a level. This OVA feels like it could have been an episode of the main series. Yeah, cut down on the fights. Cut down on the fights, and you could fit it more or less into 24 episodes. Cut out the initial part where they're still in the city, maybe included in the previous episode, whatever it might have been, and the rest could just be an episode. Yeah, I think that's why I have the feeling that it was very light on content, because it felt like a single episode story, but came in the form of two episodes. 20 minutes and 26 minutes, on average 23 minutes per. That's essentially two episodes of anime. And we didn't get two episodes of anime worth of things from it. At least that's my feeling. But what we did get was cool. I yeah, I'm kind of spinning in circles right now, so I probably should just stop talking and end this video. But to sum it up, Mavericks liked it. Remia's growth and explanation of her relationship with Myuu and Hajime, loved it. Um, Mavericks, again, loved it in whatever form they appeared, and I really wish we had like a spin-off series of them. That would be amazing. That would genuinely be cool. Maybe a manga, like an original manga, not based on a light novel, just someone creating a spin-off manga, like, I don't know, Kana no Nichijo for Dragon Maid or whatever. Uh, Fight scenes, disappointing. Mostly kind of boring, because it was just, oh no, a horde of animals is approaching. Big attack! Whoosh. Done. The effects of the attacks were cool, I guess, and that's all I can tell about them, really, but I didn't mind them. It really served to show just how much more powerful the Mavericks are from Hajime and his team, and that they still have room to grow. That's actually an important thing about this OVA. Because Hajime and his team were all this time pretty much portrayed as the peak. You can't really get stronger than them. They are stronger than anybody else in the world. But yet there are heights that they haven't reached yet. That's also significant, because Mavericks, despite their strength, didn't manage to complete what they set off to complete. So what hope does Hajime and his team have when they're weaker than those Mavericks? They still need to grow. That's something I missed initially, but it's important. It's an important thing about this OVA for sure. Combat, forgettable. Could really cut out majority of it and make it a single 24 episode OVA. Honestly, when you show so much fighting in an OVA or a movie or a series or whatever, I would expect it to be of high quality. This wasn't. This looked even lower quality than the series proper. Not quite on the level of season 1, for sure. Nothing can be worse than season 1, honestly. But not quite on par with season 2. Copy-pasted monsters that don't make much sense. Yeah. I think that's all I'm gonna have. That's... Blah. I think that's all I'm gonna have. I think that's all I will have to say about this this OVA. I'm just gonna end it here because I keep spinning in circles. I can already see that because I want to talk more about it. I love Arifureta and I wish I had more to talk about, but I just don't. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait for the third season instead. Ultimately, glad I watched it. A little bit of a time, a little bit of a plug, like a stopgap on our road towards season 3. Makes me not forget about Arifureta. Cool. Didn't need to exist, but exists, and benefits the series as a whole. It's not a completely. It's not an OVA that you can completely disregard, but it's also not one that you must watch for sure. So yeah, maybe you have different opinion on this OVA. Maybe you noticed something I didn't. Maybe there's some hidden depth here that I just didn't see. Or maybe on the contrary, maybe you didn't like some of the things that I did like. If so, tell me about it in the comments. But who wouldn't like the Mavericks? They're great. They are amazing characters, and I want more of them. But yeah, tell me about it in the comments. What did you think of this episode? OVA, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. No spoilers for season 3, please. If there are some things from the source material that weren't contained here, or maybe it's not based on the source material, tell me about it in the comments. But again, no spoilers, please. If you do want to talk spoilers, my Discord is here, also link in the description. There's an Arifureta channel there. You can use spoiler tags and post spoilers to your heart's content. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Arifureta, but also, Arifureta Season 3 at this point whenever it comes out, but also Madoka Magica, Symphogear, Axis, Sword Isekai, Novice Alchemist, and the Gundam Witch from Mercury, and some other shows that I'm gonna be posting whenever I have the time. Click the bell, you know what to do. I also stream sometimes, so might want to stay subscribed for that. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or Throne. On Patreon for $10 a month to get early access to non-seasonals like Arifureta OVA, like Symphogear, like Madoka Magica, like other non-seasonals that will be coming, and for just a single dollar you get a role on the Discord and you also get a place in the credits. On Throne you can pitch in towards my direct purchase of new camera, better lighting, stuff like that, and if you don't want to spend any money but still want to help the channel, sharing the content, spreading the word really does help grow the channel a lot. So I'm grateful for everybody who sends those links to Reddit or through WhatsApp or whatever else people use nowadays. And with that, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the credits I mentioned. You can be one of those people if only you so desire.